Good day everyone, my name is Medyo Pedregasa from BSN 1D. In this video, I will going to recite the blood circulation in the human heart, the major arteries and the major veins of the systemic circulation in anterior view. The blood circulation in human heart. Blood enters the superior and inferior vena cava and enters the right atrium through the tricuspid valve into the right ventricle, through the pulmonary valve into the pulmonary artery. From the pulmonary artery, blood enters to pulmonary arterioles, to pulmonary capillaries, to pulmonary venules, to pulmonary veins, and back into the heart, into the left atrium. From the left atrium, blood flows through the mitral valve and into the left ventricle. From the left ventricle, blood flows through the aortic valve to coronary arteries, then continue to flow through the aorta and enter the systematic arteries to systematic capillaries, to systematic venules, to systematic veins, and flows right back to superior and inferior vena cava. The major arteries of the systemic circulation in anterior view. Arteries of the head in the trunk. Internal carotid artery, external carotid artery, common carotid arteries, vertebral artery, subclavian artery, the brachiocephalic trunk, the aortic arc, the ascending aorta, the coronary artery, the thoracic aorta, the celiac trunk, the abdominal aorta, the superior mesenteric artery, the renal artery, the gonadal artery, the inferior mesenteric artery, and the internal iliac artery. Arteries that supply the upper limb. The subclavian artery, the axillary artery, the brachial artery, the radial artery, the ulnar artery, the deep palmar arc, the superficial palmar arc, and the digital arteries. Arteries that supply the lower limb. The common iliac artery, the external iliac artery, and here up to here are the femoral artery and the popliteal artery. The anterior tibial artery, the posterior tibial artery, the dorsalis pedis artery, and the arcuate artery. The major veins of the systematic circulation in anterior view. First is the veins of the head in the trunk. Here is the diurnal venous cyanosis. And in these parts are the external jugular vein, the vertebral vein, and the internal jugular vein. In here is the right and left brachiocephalic vein. Here is the superior vena cava and the great cardiac vein. In this part, here up to here, are the hepatic veins, the splenic vein, the hepatic portal vein, the renal vein, the superior mesenteric vein, and inferior mesenteric vein. And in these parts are the inferior vena cava, the common iliac vein, and the internal iliac vein. Next is the veins that drain the upper limb. Here, up to here, are the subclavian vein, the axillary vein, the cephalic vein, and the brachial vein, and the basilic vein. In this part, here up to here, are the median cubital vein, the ulnar vein, and the radial vein. And in this part are the digital veins. Next is the vein that drain the lower limb. In this side, here up to here, are the external iliac vein, the femoral vein, the great saphenous vein, and the popliteal vein. And in this area are the posterior tibial vein, the anterior tibial veins, the small saphenous veins. And in these parts are the dorsal venous arc and the dorsal metatarsal veins.